Hello, beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today, I want to talk to you about having fun in whatever it is that you are doing in your life, or seeing the light in everything that is happening for you in your life. And so this is a very tricky thing to do, because as humans we tend to really love the drama and the negative things, which is always running in the back of our minds. That's our ego trying to keep us safe, our ego saying stay here, let's look for more drama. Who else? I mean, this is what sells in the media, right? It's everything that is negative, who said what to whom. We are attracted to that because it is something that we have been conditioned to do. And when we are trying to find the joy in everything that happens, in everything that is involved within us, whether it's good or bad, it's difficult because we tend to go down the path of self-pity and scarcity and sadness and jealousy. And all of those things are very low frequencies, very low vibrations. If we are giving our attention to the things that are low vibrations, then we are opening up the channel to receive more in that area, right? And so it is just like dialing a radio station. I know for some of you who are like really young, you're like, what's a radio station, right? So just like putting on a podcast that you really like, or a radio station that you really like, and you're listening to all of that stuff all day long, all the time, and you are filling your soul with the messages of what you are choosing to receive, right? But if you put it on a different dial, you might be receiving, like, let's say, the news, which is mostly negative, or some type of show where people are getting killed or destroyed or abused, and that's what we start to feel, because the mind doesn't know what is true and what isn't. So when we're looking, let's say, at a movie or a sitcom, and there's something like really heavy or a scary thing, like a horror movie, the mind believes it. And then your body begins to send out those hormones that make you feel like you need to fight or flight. And that's stress, right? And if you're watching things that are lovely, like beautiful places, inspirational, then your body starts to send out signals of relax and being happy. And whichever place you are tuning into, you are going to attract more experiences in your reality that are aligned with those frequencies. And so the guys are asking us to really focus on what is it that we can find joy in. What can we find something that's funny in, or light in, whatever it is that's happening for us in the moment, so that we can raise our frequency and begin to move ourselves out of the downward spiral of self-pity or anger or fear. Fear is really big coming up right now. There's so many things out there, and like the media really feeds on fear, right? Don't go outside, you might get shot, or you can't go into certain places without a mask because you might get sick, and if you don't have XYZ, then you all of these things, right, that we buy into. And so there's a lot of fear out there. And if instead we choose to focus on the good things, on the things that are happening that make you feel good and light, then you match on to those things. So the guys are talking about specifically, if you're having a good time and you're always positive, then you are completely vibing with what's coming through. But if you are having struggles in your life, which is a lot of people, right? In this life, let's say you're sick, or a family member is sick, or you're stressed, or you don't have a job, or your job is barely paying the bills, and you have this constant stress of where's the money going to come from. Or maybe your kids are like really stressing you out. Maybe you have teenage kids who are acting out or speaking back to you, and it's a completely new phase for you. Whatever it is that's happening for you that's stressful and it's not making you feel good, the moment that we buy into those feelings, we immediately begin to receive more of it. And so the only way to stop that down spiral and to begin to go up the spiral of feeling good and attracting things that feel good to us, is to make that switch. And to make that switch, look for the things that can be light, even in the moment of the heat, right? Even in the moment of what's happening that is not very nice to you. So I'm going to give you an example okay? I think I've spoken about this before here. About a year and a half ago, I chipped a bone on my ankle, and I was asked not to put any weight on it for at least a week, until I got to see the orthopedic doctor. And they gave me crutches, which I am not very strong at the moment, but I'm working on that. And I could not for my life balance on those crutches. So I was like falling off, and I'm like, that's not good. So I ended up pretty much homebound for a whole week in my bedroom, pretty much. The bathroom's right next door. And my husband had to cater to me, my husband and my son, to everything that I did. But every single time that I had to move from the restroom to my bedroom, I was literally sliding on the floor on my butt. And there were a couple of times when I was in the middle of my transition between one room and the other, and my husband would come up and would see me. And here I am sitting on the floor, and he's laughing at me, and I'm laughing at me, right? So he wasn't laughing at me like, haha, look what's happening to you. He was laughing with me of like, what a funny sight he was seeing. I'm laughing because look what's happening here. Like, I'm sliding my butt on the ground, and it was funny. It was a funny thing, right? Despite the fact that it was uncomfortable, that I couldn't walk around, that I couldn't do a lot of things that I wanted to do. This happened right before Christmas, guys, and it was a time where I usually am up and down on all kinds of furniture and stuff, decorating, and I couldn't do any of it. So it was inconvenient, right? But what happened here is that I was cracking up. And I was laughing, and so was he. So we created this really light part of a situation that wasn't ideal. We began to find what's funny about this, right? My son, he'll drop something, and the first thing that comes to him is, oh no, it's like terrible thing, I spilled this on myself, like that, right? Like the big drama. He really feels it. I'm working really hard on explaining to him and making him see that only brings more drama, more things that make him feel that way. And so beginning to show him how to, okay, it fell. How funny is it that, oh my gosh, look at this, and now it's all over the place, we have to clean it, and it's a funny thing. I mean, every time you see like a cartoon of somebody slipping or falling, we laugh, right? If it's like happening to a person, like your friend in the middle of school or something, or outside, the first thing is like, oh, are you okay? But then it's a funny thing, right? So that's the part that they're saying. They're saying, unless the person is like really badly injured, right? What the guys are saying is, look for that. Look for those parts of joy, because that is what you're supposed to be doing here on this incarnation while you are here on earth. You're supposed to be going through life, learning whatever it is that you chose to come here to learn, expanding your soul in whichever way you are wanting to expand your soul. But you are supposed to be having fun through all of it. All of it, right? And I know right now you're thinking of the worst possible thing that could have ever happened to you, or the worst possible thing that could have ever happened to someone you know. And you're saying, yeah, how can I look at the best thing in that? What's the funny thing about that, right? And that is the key, guys. The key is that everything, number one, everything is happening for us, not to us. Number two, find the joy in everything that's happening so that you can continue to bring more things that are joyful to you, and so that the heavy things that are happening for us in this lifetime feel lighter, and we get to see the lessons, and we get to enjoy our life no matter what. And number three, here's number three, all of this is just a holographic matrix video game. This is not the real part. Who you are is what is your soul, your infinite soul that chooses to incarnate here on this earth for a blink of a second compared to the infiniteness that you are. And we come here to play and to explore and to learn on school earth. And so none of this, none of the even the terrible things or the good things that are happening to us, they're all just parts of a video game. Imagine yourself, you're playing a video game and you are the character on this video game and you're going through whatever it is that you're going on your video game. And then when you cross over, then you come back and you're like, oh my gosh, look at that, look what I did, right? And so that's what it is, right? Video games are supposed to be made for fun. And then you get to see all kinds of people who are like really upset when they lose or when something happens in the game. And that's exactly what we're doing on this earth. When something happens for us that is not what we want, we get very upset and we go down the spiral of anger, self-pity, jealousy, all of those things. But if you realize that it's just a game, even if you're playing an actual game on a video thing so that you can relate this and kind of figure it out, and you see somebody getting very upset and you're thinking, it's just a game, right? Like, what's the big deal? That's the same thing with life, okay? This is a really, really big one that's coming through. So I have not spoken about this before. This message has not come through while I was doing a podcast, but it's coming through now. So they're really asking you to look at yourself, your body in here on this three-dimensional world, as that character on a video game. And who gets to play the video game? It's you, your higher self, your soul, who is navigating through all kinds of things. And now imagine this, if you're playing a game and everything goes perfect for you in everything, right? You're moving through, you never crash if it was a car driving thing, right? You never run over any pedestrians, you get to the destination faster than everyone, everything's perfect, right? Then that game, is that game going to be something you want to go back to? Is that game something that you're actually entertained with? Or is it like, that's boring, I already did it, right? So when we have games, the games usually have challenges, obstacles, things that you have to move through so you can get to the next level. And that is the part of the entertaining thing of the video game. This is why our lives also have the ups and downs. They have the struggles and the things that we don't like, and we have to figure out how to get through it. That's the key. You figure out how to get through it and how to keep on living while having fun. Whoa, I'm going to stop it right there because the message is just dropping and dropping and dropping, and I feel it that it's like so big, so tremendous. Let me know how this is landing for you. Let me know this is making sense for you. You can send me a message any way that you can figure it out. I don't know if you can send messages through here, but if you do, go ahead. Also, if you like this, please like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and share with as many people as you think would be really benefiting from these messages, okay? All right, and right before that, I just wanted to let you know about the Crystalline Connection. It is my 8-week container that is starting pretty soon, a couple of weeks now. You have a choice of starting within 3 weeks, and we're going to go for 8 weeks straight with a lot of healing, a lot of work that we're doing together, and we're going to move through a lot of stuff that I usually work on one-on-one like this, but this was given to me in December, that this was something that was needed. And so here it is, guys. If you're looking for some type of support system and you want to get in touch with your gifts, trust what it is that you're receiving, go into that next level, begin to really connect to everything, right? The crystalline connection is we're connecting to the crystalline grid, which is it's an energetic grid around the world, right? And when we connect to it, we immediately have the power of everything else and anyone else who's connected to it. So imagine yourself plugging yourself in, like let's say a hairdryer, plugging the hairdryer into the wall socket to get that energy, that electricity, so you can turn it on. So it's like that. You're going to connect to that and be connected to the whole source of energy that is going to really help you expand and open up more to your gifts. Okay, so that's all I'm saying on that. I'm putting the link in the bottom part here in the description. Send me a message, and you can also check it out through my website, which is healingthroughyou.com. Okay guys, that's all for that. I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.